SAA has appointed Les Matuson as its business rescue practitioner. Trade unions are decrying the process, saying they've been excluded. The airline is undergoing voluntary business rescue. Our reporter Heidi Giokos has more on that story. Heidi, you are outside SAA at the moment, and I'm just wondering what the conversation is going to be regarding the unions.
Yes, Jane, so we do understand that unions indicated late yesterday that they are opposing the process in which SAA has decided to go in terms of the business rescue practitioner that they have decided to appoint, in terms of the business rescue process that the airline is undergoing. One must remember that Solidarity had indicated last year already that they want SAA to go into involuntary business rescue. And then when Heidi Giokos, who was the CEO and resigned in June this year, was still the CEO, he said, just hold up, we have a turnaround strategy that could possibly turn the airline around. And that is when, when Solidarity said we'll hold on and not go into that application. But then late this year, they decided to go back into that, which the Department of Public Enterprises, SAA and National Treasury opposed that application. And yesterday we saw them going to court to discuss with legal teams what is set to happen, given the fact that SAA has decided to go into business rescue itself. And yesterday the unions, Solidarity, NUMSA and the South African Cabin Crew Association met, and they decided that they want to be part of the process, to be part of the selection of who SAA decides to appoint as the business practitioner. But SAA has already decided who they want as a business practitioner, and they've given the airline until 9 o'clock today to include the unions as part of this process. But the process has already begun, so it's going to be interesting to see what SAA decides to do and if they adhere to that deadline. If not, the unions have indicated they will exercise their rights. Let's just listen to what the South African Cabin Crew Association said to Jeremy Maggs last night.
We have sent a letter to SAA's lawyers where we said to them we're giving them until 9 o'clock to give us an opportunity to engage with them so that we can actually have a choice also. We can be involved in
let me get this right. To engage with the board or to engage with Mr. Matuson?
The board shouldn't be involved.
So you want to engage with Mr. Matuson?
No. We want to engage with SAA,
right,
not with the board. The board shouldn't be the one that's choosing. Remember,
so with the executive of SAA?
With the executive of SAA.
And what do you want to come out of that?
What we want is that we want a joint a meeting where we're going to choose an independent, reputable administrator.
But how do you know he's not independent and reputable?
Because
conventional wisdom suggests, even Solidarity.
I love your question.
Earlier today,
I love your
question.
That
he's handled this kind of size of business.
I love your question. So this is what's happening now. This is a voluntary business rescue, which simply means that SAA has gone to it in terms of Section 129. So the problem we have with that is that the minister already has put down the terms at which this administrator is going to be working, this practitioner is going to be working at. So he's already said these are the parameters, and that shouldn't be. So when I say that shouldn't be, it means an independent practitioner should come and say, this is where I identify problems and this is what needs to be done. You cannot come and say you are doing a business rescue, you're a business rescue practitioner, but yet you're working on certain parameters. You can't.
So, Jane, we are outside SAA headquarters, Airways Park, and we will be monitoring the situation. We've spoken to Solidarity and NUMSA early this morning, and they've indicated that they will let us know what the outcome will be. They're waiting to see whether or not SAA will adhere to that 9 a.m. deadline, and they will let us know around 10 a.m. what they're eventually going to decide on.